Thank you.
I like when I say intro or outro first, and you just looked at me and went, well, intro would be first, wouldn't it?
Well, intro would be first, yeah.
Okay, intro, right. So lovely to see you. I haven't actually said anything to you yet.
I know, I ran in a bit late, didn't I?
Yeah. You got a bit of a tickly chest there?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a summer cold.
Is it? It's not COVID, is it?
No, it's not COVID.
No kissing?
No kissing.
Okay, all right. So today...
New music.
New music, right. Do you like it?
I like it.
A little bit of Seinfeld meets LCD with you and me, and we're singing in the background, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, me, you, and the guys from Gas. So Gas Music have done us a new theme tune, which we really like. It's being, we've had a little noodle on it, haven't we? We quite like it. It's going to be
nice.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So,
I like it.
Yeah.
So there's that. And what have you been? What else have you been doing?
So I've been
Ooh, that's nice.
oohing around as ever. So one
sponsored by
Beautiful, who are our official sponsors of Ooh, That's Nice, who are the video and photography experts of outdoors. So the burnable billboard is something really prevalent. I don't know when this episode will probably come out, when it's fucking freezing cold, but that's something really good. It's getting loads of traction. Just, you could never do anything but make that an outdoor piece. It's really, it's pretty scary actually. So I love that. And then there was also Audi have done a couple of things. It's all about the removable roof, or I don't know if it's removable or retractable.
Retractable roof, yeah.
It opens the whole thing up. So the guys at BBH did a great thing after the races. So the hat's coming out, and then actually,
and it was targeted around Ascot Week, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Look, we're off to the races, and then there was another Audi campaign which View to Phil actually informed us of in Manchester, which is in a sort of shopping arcade where it's got the picture of the Audi, and then the roof, the ceiling of the shopping arcade turns into the sky. It's brilliant.
Nice.
I'm presuming it's BBH, but yeah, those are the two that have been.
Nice
on our list.
Good. Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, yes. So who we got today?
We got Paul Pateman, or Pâté Man.
Pâté Man. I wonder why he's
Pâté on toast.
I wonder why. Shall we find?
Do you follow him on social?
I do. He's a lovely man.
He's a very lovely man.
Yeah, and
he posts some great stuff.
Yeah, very talented, and I think he's got half a life sort of in advertising, and now he's this illustrator guy. And yeah, do you know, he's already been waiting about 7 minutes. He was superbly on time.
Oh, that's very good.
Like us. So maybe I go and get him.
You go get him.
1, 2, 3. Paul Pateman, graphic artist.
You didn't clap.
Paul Pateman, graphic artist, art director, writer, speaker, and General Good Egg. Welcome,
General Good Egg.
Yeah,
thank you.
General, or just Good Egg. Good Egg?
General Good Egg?
It's funny, our ad agency was called Loaf and Egg.
Oh, that's good.
Because Mike's got a kind of loaf-shaped haircut. And I haven't got any hair at all.
God, we could do another whole podcast around name, because we had Rick Brimmin the other week talking about why he called his agency Ace of Hearts, and we went in this rabbit hole about naming brands and things.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming on the show.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We need to say, we can call you Paul.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because your stage name is Pâté.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell that story?
Yes.
No, wait. Well, should we do the Paul Facts?
Paul Facts.
Paul Facts.
Jesus.
So Paul's enjoyed a successful 13-year career in the advertising industry as a creative director at two of London's most famous agencies, Abbott Mead and TBWA, where Paul won. Hard to believe this. This is a lot. I'm not questioning it. 130 awards, which is fucking ace. Sorry, square.
Amazing.
Including 2 proper D&AD pencils, not a slither or anything, just a proper one. Paul is now an illustrator. He's been shortlisted numerous times at the AOI World Illustration Awards. He's sat on D&AD juries. He regularly lectures on the power of visual imagery, and is now established with 10 years experience in the commercial art landscape, regularly creating images, not only beautiful, but satirical and funny, I thought. So welcome along.
Thank you.
Now tell us, what was the question?
Pâté.
ADHD is really kicking in today. Pâté.
Right. Yeah. So
you are welcome. Yeah, love to have you.
Basically, when me and Mike did the Museum of Childhood campaign,
which we'll talk about in a minute.
Yes. It basically did quite well in the award shows, and I got a illustration agent off the back of that work. And so I had 2 careers. I was an art director and an illustrator. And at one point, I was working on Pepsi at AMV and Coca-Cola as an illustrator.
Are you allowed to say this now?
It's fine.
You're out of it now. They're fine.
Well,
they can't chase you down.
No,
That's actually double bubbles.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And so, I needed a pseudonym. And I remembered I won a swimming competition when I was a kid, and Duncan Goodhue was handing out the medals.
No way.
And he said Paul Pateman instead of Paul Pateman. And my mates were like, oh, Pâté. They hadn't really made the connection before that. And so I was Pateman from then. And then I thought my initial logo was a duck in a blender. And I thought, yeah, that's the universe telling me that Pâté is right. So that's where the sort of pseudonym came.
It's funny how that happens at school, isn't it? It's like, that's it. You've got a nickname for life. From bloody Duncan Goodhue.
Yeah, Duncan Goodhue.
Another good egg.
He's a good egg because he taught. I've swam with Duncan Goodhue. He's taught me how to do the front crawl because I do the swimming. So I'm going to digress.
Duncan Goodhue taught you to swim front crawl.
Yeah, so I saw him recently when I did my 7th swimathon. Everyone, and I was part of their. Do you know this? I was part of their marketing.
No,
they videoed me. I'm on like little ads.
Are you on a poster? Please tell me you're on a poster.
I can find the social post.
You and Duncan.
Where I very earnestly talk about swimming and people with cancer and my mum and everything. So sorry, I'm going to get really sad now. But,
did he give you a 10-metre swimming badge as well?
What, 47?
Anyway, that's the Duncan Hughes section done.
There's 3 podcasts in this, I'm telling you.
Yeah. It's fucking brilliant. Pâté Man.
Pâté Man.
And I got rid of the man.
Also does sound a bit like a weird horror genre. Like, have you seen
the Pâté Man?
The Pâté Man. He suffocates them with.
I'm sure there's some people out there who'd
they've switched off.
Yeah.
Everyone's gone. Everyone's gone now. They're all finished.
Yeah. There's nobody left to talk.
They've gone into the garden.
Yeah,
right.
Jesus, this is supposed to be about illustration.
Sorry. Yeah. So we're going to say this is the moment to talk about what you're up to at the moment. Any interesting projects, or
Sure.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
He's now telling us to
He's
move.
supposed to prompt me.
Fucking hell. But he's so efficient. He's got his own business and everything.
So he's in the visual communications business. He needs some visual to help him communicate.
we normally have a little person just pressing buttons, right. But John's not around. Is he at the moment? Oh, shit. Sorry, John, if you hear that. That was really rude. We might cut that out. John, could you cut that bit out about you? Right, we're looking at Donald Trump's head on fire with the word DEI. So is this your latest?
Yeah, so this is the latest piece of work that I've been working on for Director magazine. And it was a commission about how Donald Trump is basically starting a war on DEI and rolling it back in the US. And
for our listeners who don't know, what is DEI? What does that mean?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Thank you. And
so, usually when I get a brief, I sort of just read the copy, and then I'm looking for words that have super strong visual connections. And I hate him, but Trump's a gift because he's got so many sort of iconic. It's probably why he's sort of a success, because you can sort of boil him down to his hair, his mouth, orange.
Right. So it's a dream for an illustrator.
Yeah. So you sort of got that, but then how diversity, equity, and inclusion is a super broad topic, right? So how do you kind of boil that down and get that in the illustration? How do you smash those two things together, Trump and his war on DEI? And so what I usually do is sort of take myself off for a coffee in Mare Street Market and just start scribbling, draw. I used to do it through words, but now I do it through drawing. Like, you've got Trump, you've got DEI. What can visually symbolize DEI? And I was looking at kind of pride flags and things like that, but that is not inclusive of all that is encompassed by diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Right.
And I was sort of struggling a bit, and then I thought, God, he's so sort of angry. I wanted the image to be angry, and then I thought of a match, and I thought, well, you could easily make the end of the match orange. All right, it's, now we're off and running. His hair can be the flame. So I had that and had it set in fire to a sort of pride flag, and it wasn't really working. And then I tend to sort of, even at night, I've got like a pad by my by my bedside table, and I was just thinking, right, I really like Trump as a matchstick on fire. And then suddenly it's like, you know, those moments where it just clicks and you go, I just thought, well, how about if the flickers of fire spelt DEI? And then that was it. I could go to sleep. I'd done it, and then sort of woke up in the morning. And
is that your usual process for something like that?
Yeah, I do lots and lots. I mean, there were lots of ideas that I try and do as many ideas as possible. And when I was in advertising, I was really sort of precious about this is the one. But I tend now to let art directors choose. I sort of have an inkling of what my favourite is.
So, sorry, when you do that and then you send it, do you send a few of them?
Yeah, so I sent about maybe 8 ideas.
And then the commissioning editor of the editor says that one? Or
yeah,
do you have
so they'll talk with the editor of the magazine and then come back.
That's quite interesting. So you sort of become an illustrator, but you're sort of, again, a creative, writing ideas, offering art to someone.
Yeah, the power dynamic is slightly different because obviously I can tell them to fuck off if I don't want them to.
So you can say,
that's never happened, but yeah, I can basically say, okay, well, if you don't want that, then let's just not do it. But that you can't do in an ad agency. But I've never had that situation, and I think I tend to work with really good art directors actually, and they tend to really pick. I think because also it's really intense. The turnarounds are really short, so you don't really have that week where you're sort of living with it on your wall.
No.
And so sometimes it can be hard to sort of go, well, that is definitely the one.
Right.
Because you sort of need time to, but I often find it.
So, and also, do you send, do you send a little Paul Pateman thumbnail before you go right deep into,
Yeah, so I sketch, I use an iPad Pro and I use Procreate. So I draw directly onto the iPad. And also a long time ago, maybe 8 years ago, I taught myself to draw how I construct images on the computer. Right. So there's less distance between the final, the scamp and the final.
Oh, okay.
Just to help clients, because I'm trying to remove that gap.
Yeah.
Just so there are no surprises.
God, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
Yeah. It was like, why did you not think it was going to be like that? And often I colour my scamps as well.
That's quite good.
And often when I put things on Instagram, people struggle to see the difference between the final and the scamps.
Right.
But I love drawing as well. It's mostly to remove that gap between scamp and final. But I love drawing. I love drawings.
And has the iPad changed the game for illustrators with the pencil and?
For me, yeah, it's just so every idea that you've ever had is in one place now, and so oftentimes there'll be ideas that weren't bought for other brands that are perfect, and you can use those bits, those elements. Whereas before I had drawers full of pieces of paper with pencil sketches and and you'd have to start from scratch.
Having it all at your fingertips to be able to go, right, actually I just want to look at this thing.
If you've got a hand in a particular position and you need to swap out something in that hand, but the hand's right, you can just, I'll take that hand.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
It does make things super quick.
Cool. Yeah. Okay. We better move on.
We have the billboard at the end of my street, which is brought to you by Super Optimal Design Intelligence for Out of Home. What have you got for us?
I've got a Canva billboard. And
Canva. Is this literally at the end of your street at home? Yeah.
And it's a digital billboard at the end of my street. And it's a Canva billboard saying meh on one side, MEH, just white type on the black background, and then stapiece on the right hand side that's got emojis and is pink, and the whole word spells masterpiece.
I see what they did there. I understand it.
Yeah. And I mean,
what do we think?
I'm really torn by this poster, right? Because on the one hand, Canva is for people who want okay, right? It's not for people who want good or great. It is for people who want okay. And therefore it's on brand because it's okay.
Yeah.
When I first saw them, I just thought that, because I think there's a series and
they've done a couple of specials as well, haven't they?
Yeah, and they're talking about how sort of great design can be on Canva, and I was looking at it, that just isn't great. But then they're not aiming at great, right?
Yeah.
So
they're definitely spending some cash.
I think it's nailing the target audience, I think.
Well, it's got, I mean, we've seen a lot of rubbish in this section. So it does work as a poster. It's got an idea. It's just, I don't know.
We'll run it through Super Optimal's supercomputer and see how it comes out. But I mean, it's doing what it needs to do. It's got the logo. It's got.
Yeah.
I wonder if it was designed on Canva.
Well, it certainly looks like it is. I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone.
No, it's fine. I think it is.
But it's like Canva is the enemy.
Yeah.
Right? It's the enemy. We at AMV, there was always this saying, like, good is the enemy of great. And now I think all these things, okay is the enemy of good.
Yeah.
And I think the real worry is that people are either happy with okay or they don't know what the value that really good work can bring. And it's sort of almost like social media is conditioning us to not even care about beauty and art direction and ideas. And
is that because it's easy, it's been democratized so well by tools like this, like Canva, like
I think there are people,
the creation tools in Instagram, and
I think there are brands out there that'll go, I want my marketing department to use Canva to knock this stuff out because look at my bottom line. It saves on my bottom line, but does it? But does it? Do you know what I think
there's an instant gratification for the bottom line, but the long tail is. I mean, we're not going to be wagging if they keep doing that.
This is our sort of bit where we talk about the industry, and I, excuse me, I think there's really valid points, but we do feel, I mean, it's debatable. I think it's a really good moment for out of home at the moment. We've had people writing, and we had so much stuff people come send to us now. I don't know if we've got bigger awareness but so we have it's more fun for me and Dan in a way because we can sort of trawl through stuff and feature.
Yeah, I mean, the stuff that you've been putting on Ooh, That's Nice every week. We're seeing a real glut of great work coming up.
Definitely.
Or even if it's not great, but we want to put out there to start a debate like this. Rather than, I remember at a point when we were doing this, we were like, fucking hell. I mean, it might have been around COVID, but to your point, sorry, just jumping around, it is like Rick Brim said, is it a great renaissance? I think it is a sort of renaissance. It's never going to be like, the 80s and 90s where this show's not about that. It's about...
But I think it's really easy to look back at the 80s and 90s and think of the 10 you could name 10 billboards now, but there was still a load of crap out there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's just changed, and I think we shouldn't get too down. I mean, I think this is okay. Like you're saying, it is okay. We know it's not what we...
There's a lot worse out there, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think if you're a young art director, if you're an art director, an illustrator, photographer, I've got this saying that you want to be the artisanal sourdough maker and look for people who want sourdough, not the sliced boiled white that's available in every supermarket. Because there will always be clients who just want it fast, cheap, and it's not very nutritious, but they don't care. It does a job. But hopefully there'll always be people.
There's
who
that
want
triangle,
sourdough,
isn't there? That's like fast price quality, and you can choose two.
Yeah, you can't.
I can feel a bread in illustration analogy.
I'm trying to. It's a slide in my talk. Turning a shit sandwich into foie gras, the making of pâté.
That'll be coming up. But we're now looking at something wonderful. It's an Economist poster. I'll read it out. World domination without the laser death ray master plan. Is this your first billboard?
First billboard on the Economist,
and then all
banger
downhill after that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've heard the 100 stories about, everybody working day and night and putting your scamps into a pile. And there was a board. And then
is this not one of those?
No, it
is. Oh, please tell.
Like the board, there's 1,000 million, and then you wake up in the morning and there's like 2 up there. And then you go into Dave and Sean's office and they've got about 20 brilliant posters on the wall. We just kept going, and the reason why I think we were employed at AMV was because we had this kind of cheekier kind.
Who were you working with on this?
This was with Barney Ashton.
Barney Ashton, right, thanks.
And I think we had I don't really know what edgy means, but let's use the word edgy tone of voice, because AMV was a very sort of mature agency. When we started, they were in post-production on Guinness Surfer, which is like amazing, but they couldn't attract any sort of youth clients. And so we had this voice where we, I think we actually had the Heinz salad cream idea in our book. Any food tastes supreme with Heinz salad. We had a version of that,
right?
But we'd put it on a turd in a bun, and that got us a job, which is wild. But anyway, that was just like a little taster of what our tone of voice was. So when The Economist came, when the open brief was there, we're like, well, we're not. I don't want to write sort of a corporate-y kind of. I just want to do it in our sort of tone of voice. And I don't know, maybe we just like watched a Bond movie at the time, but I just liked the idea of, getting laser death ray master plan into a poster, and it seemed to have our tone of voice. And we put it on the wall, and it stayed and then went up.
Great.
Which is great.
It's a belter.
Your very first poster was in an Economist ad. I don't think we've had that before.
Well, I was like, well, fine.
Oh, great. We got an Economist ad.
It was somebody else's campaign, right?
Yeah, but there was
some bloke called Dave Abbott.
But there was 3,000 other ideas in the bin.
Yeah.
And you got that out as your first poster. That's amazing.
I mean, I was probably pleased at the time, but I liked what Dave tried to do and what Paul Belford tried to do. They did versions of it that was their own, and I was more interested in that. Yeah, really. And I really liked the visual ones. I loved Matt Abbott's Missing Piece, the jigsaw, and all that sort of stuff.
And Paul's light bulb.
We tried to do a visual one, but it never really came off. But
it's a really interesting period, because when we started doing the show, we really did a lot of Economist, and it was like, as a writer, I really liked the lines, but then I remember Paul said something about the light bulb when, a bit like you were saying, you had that sort of itchy ambition of, come on, let's have some fucking visual. And I think Nigel Roberts might have gone on holiday or something.
And they got it in, yeah.
Anyway, right, we're going to keep going. Very good. So we're going to talk about the work. So just so you're aware, we're going to start 2 sections. We're going to do advertising and illustration, because that's your career. And we're going to start right at the a brilliant campaign for the Museum of Childhood, which you sort of touched upon a bit. Beautifully illustrated by your good self, written with Mike Nicholson. Do you want to give us a bit of background to how this happened? Because it's quite interesting.
Yeah. So I'd split up with my partner, Barney, after a bit of a row. Sorry, Barney. And me and Mike were put together. I'd always sort of admired Mike's work, so I was well chuffed when he was up for working together. And we sort of continued our kind of youth kind of tone of voice, really. And then Millward Brown started sneaking into our scripts, the old joystick test, research and all that sort of stuff. And it became increasingly hard to get humour through.
Can I say joystick sort of has a... Is there not a kind of opposite?
It was just like, push it up if you're into it, pull it down if you're not.
Which is not joy for the creative people.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Like in a room like this with a hidden glass, one-way glass. Like,
yeah.
So we basically went from making lots and lots of work to not much work at all. And also as an art director, you draw, but you never really draw the final thing. So I was getting frustrated with not actually getting to make work to actually draw. And so I said to Mike, look, we need our own project, right, that we own, that's off books, that nobody knows about, that nobody's going to interfere with, and we'll write it, and I want to illustrate it. And so we just started looking for this thing. And one day I was walking to the Tube, and I walked past the V&A Museum of Childhood, and it had just been renovated, had just opened. I hadn't noticed it before. And I don't know, just something about it called me. And I just, instead of going to work that day, I just went straight in. And I rang Mike and I said, I've found a project. This is the project. You got to come here and not work. And so we went straight to the Museum of Childhood, and we were just writing ads all day. And the great thing about it was there were all these kind of toys in there that you remember from your childhood.
Yeah.
And we're like, this is brilliant. You don't need to convince a kid to come to a museum of childhood, but what we could do was like talk to the adults. You know,
Right,
we could talk to adults come in here and play on the nostalgia vibe. And so the work came really, really quickly, and we went back to we had offices at that time, and we were like, right, we're going to work on this project. But we need to rearrange our office. So we moved our screens so nobody could see what we were doing. And then we read somewhere that if you run to the toilet or the photocopier, people will think you're busy. So they won't. So traffic won't give you briefs. So we just run around,
or carrying a piece of paper. That's the other one.
Yeah, and just tutting or something like. And so we worked on this thing, and we wrote the lines, and then I was bothering the studio day and night trying to learn Creative Suite, to learn Adobe Illustrator. I was like, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you kern type? And it all came together. And then we sort of thought, right, we need a sort of account man. So as a junior account man, James Drummond, who set up Uncommon.
Yeah.
And
never heard of him.
He got us a meet. So he said, yeah, I'll ring the client, and got us a meeting. And then also he was doing something with Tower Hamlets. So he had poster sites that we could use as well.
Oh, wow.
And then we got Linda Carlos as our sort of project manager, and sort of swore them all to secrecy. So it's like this agency within an agency.
Like clandestine agency.
Yeah, and she did all the printouts for us. Like when everybody had gone home and boarded them up on foam board.
Well, you were purposely keeping it away from the agency to get the work away that you wanted.
Yeah,
you didn't want anyone meddling.
So what happened next? I'm intrigued.
So we rang the client and so we've got this work. Do you want to see it? They said yes. So we had this meeting and we just put the work out and talked them through it, and basically said, we've got poster sites booked. You don't have to pay for it. All you have to do is say yes. And they said yes.
Well, thank God.
And then we're like, fuck, we haven't told anyone.
I was going to say, who was your line manager?
It was Paul Braze, who was ECD.
He's been in here. Good.
Yeah. And so we sort of sheepishly went into Paul's office and said, look, we've done this work. We've sold it to the client. They've bought it. Tower Hamlets are putting it up. There's nothing you can do about it. But do you like it? And he said, yeah.
Right. And, I'm going to quickly read a couple of them.
Did they? Was that a easy enough conversation then? Was Paul just like, yeah, great, good initiative, well done?
I remember him being slightly confused.
Why would you do that?
What is this?
And had you done the illustrations?
Yeah. Everything was finished by the time we.
So some of the lines, just for our listeners. So get here by train, by bus, or by the power of grey skull. This is and then there's another one of my favourites is adults must be accompanied by inner child.
Yeah, that's my all-time favourite. That was year 2. So
So, I mean, the line is brilliant. The illustration
was year 2 back through the books.
Yes. So by this time, it had come on board as an official client of AMV.
And it did,
and you could
especially when we moved to TBWA, an account man was sent down to Museum of Childhood to cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure
I see.
It with us.
That's incredible. It's an incredible story, isn't it?
Did you? So when you walked into the Museum of Childhood, you're like, "Can I speak to the marketing department, please?"
Yeah, how did you do that?
No, we just we didn't. So initially, it was just let's look at the exhibits.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, there's that He-Man I used to have. And then, there were toys that I'd completely forgotten about. And I was like, it just brought back so many memories. I just got really passionate about it.
Yeah.
And then, our initial contact with them was through James, and he just rang them and said,
right,
we've got some work to show you. Do you want to see it?
That's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I mean, that is for anyone out there who's,
the power of a good account person. Just pick up the phone or get the meeting.
Proactively just get on and do something. If you haven't got any work or you're struggling, create a...
Change your own fate.
Yeah, people do that. And we'd always try and big it up. It's a brilliant story. Thank you. I mean, it's really... And also it won lots of awards, but I think I actually like the fact that you just said, right, Mike, come down here. We're working from here today. And then you get excited, don't you? You kind of, and then I think that would probably feed back into your other work and make you more energized with that.
It totally did, yeah. And I think I'm not sure if that kind of, I'm sure it happens still, but that kind of behaviour probably wouldn't be tolerated today, where everything is trying to be, like I saw some really outrageous behaviour at AMV, and it was fun and it was exciting and it was edgy, but these people were making great work. And there's something that, you can't really put us in a box, I don't think, and get the best work out of us. I think the best managers, I mean, there's another conversation about I went from being a art director to a creative director because that's the progression, right? But they're two completely different jobs. One's altruistic and one's solipsistic. It's just like, I think the best sort of creative directors will recognize that some people need a sort of free rein.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it's about you just want to make good work, don't you? That's the buzz. I mean, being able to pay your mortgage is great, but like number one is just like doing great work for me.
Yeah.
That's just what I want to do.
And you were still at AMV when you did the right guard?
Yeah, that was before this. So
before?
Yeah,
that was a lesson that I learned from Paul Belford, basically.
Because it's a very great, it's a great
snowboarding one.
Snowboarding guy jumping off a fucking vertical cliff, but we can't do anything about the smell in his pants. So talk us through briefly.
So we got a brief for Right Guard Extreme.
Right.
Yeah, and it was, let's talk to a youth audience about deodorant. And obviously Right Guard Extreme leads you into the world of skateboarding and snowboarding. And me and Barney loved snowboarding. So we're like, well, let's write something about that. And I scamped this up. And we had to go down to the, I think it was Right Guard Gillette or something. I remember going to the Gillette building or something like that, this big corporate building, walking into this room full of loads of guys in khakis and whatnot. And we're going, but you can't do anything about the smell in his pants, and it's brilliant. Talking about him shitting himself. But they loved it.
Oh, great.
And then we thought, brilliant, we're going to go and shoot it in the Alps and, do some snowboarding. This is going to be brilliant. And then they were like, no, there's no budget for that.
No.
And I was crestfallen. But it was a lesson from Paul Belford, really. It was like, right, we're going to get some really great stock shots. We're going to do some really great retouching, and we're going to do some really great designs. And it was Mark Elwood was the designer on it. And I didn't do too much art direction on that. It was sort of Belford and Elwood, and it came back, and I just thought, that is fucking brilliant.
Put my name on that.
Yeah, and I did the type there, I think. I definitely did. I'm going to take some credit. But it was just a lesson in the sometimes barriers are adversity is opportunity. Really, it just depends how you react to it.
I love the Right Guard, the pack shot on the right. It's like it's like that's fallen through space, like
and then this beautiful typography and the kind of blurring and stuff.
It's like and then the use of white space on the left hand side.
And also I've got this thing about beautifully stupid. Like, I love writing a sort of crass line like that, and then art directing the shit out of it. So it's really, really beautiful. Yeah. I think that's so funny when you take something that is, sort of crass, and then just making it really, really, really beautiful.
But isn't it, that's a bit like Mark Denton's poster, the handwritten letters spelling out the C word. Yeah. And you go, I think that's where you get to a really good place, because if you don't do that, it looks like, it's a bit cheap. It's a fucking cheap joke, that. And then when you start to art direct, you go, ooh, okay, that's got some substance. Yeah,
because the line is like perfect for the audience, right?
We're going to keep going. Yeah, we've got lots to get through. A very quick one on Heinz. This is more balls, literally balls. We've just been in someone's bottom, now someone's balls. We have testicle updates on billboards.
You knew you were getting on.
Talk us through, because this is a really sweet one. It's a tin of Heinz beans of balls, which is teetering on the edge of a shelf.
Again, this proactive campaign, we had Heinz. Let's do something great for Heinz. I know Max Oppenheim, the great photographer, he said, I'll shoot it for you. And so, we were just looking through the Heinz catalogue of products, and we're like, beans with balls. Oh, right. Well, maybe that means that it's edgy. You can take a risk. Let's put it right on the edge of the shelf.
Yeah.
And then tucked away, cowering on the bottom shelf, is a tin of chicken soup, just to sort of add to the joke.
That's good. It's like a very modern ad with no logo, no headline.
Yeah. And Max shot it for us in the studio, and then it ran.
It's beautiful.
Again, just being proactive. Like if you're frustrated and people are not buying the work you want to make, well, we always say to students, the work you do is the work you will do. So just keep doing the stuff you want to do, and hopefully people will come to you for more of it. Yeah,
it's like we had this chat, I can't remember if it was Rick or something, but like being self-employed. You're a team, you work for an agency, but you're looking after yourself all the time. You've got to go, oh, that didn't work out because I never got the briefs. It's like, no, you got to go and get it, or you got to go and show that passion,
Yeah, sure.
And is that how it worked on Heinz? You could, they were happy to see work coming in unbriefed. I
think we had account managers and traffic come in with real briefs, and we go, yeah, fine, but look, we've done this.
We're ready.
And just every meeting we go, look, we've just done this, we've done this.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, fine, we'll get to that thing over there, but look, we've done this.
Yeah.
And eventually they just go, if we don't go and present this, they're never going to stop talking about it. So you just,
Yeah.
Right, we're going to finish off your advertising career with a D&AD winning.
I think I'm doing that by this podcast.
A D&AD pencil winning poster for John Smith's for the royal wedding, tar for the extra day off, and it was a topical ad with two really shit, no, not shit, beautifully drawn thumbs.
Yeah, I drew those
by Paul Pateman. Thank you. No,
yeah.
I realised that I was saying it. Bit Shrigley-esque, sort of super ironic. Tell us a bit about this. And it's a paper plate. It's crap, basically. It's not a crap ad. It's a crap plate.
Yeah.
It's no nonsense.
So by this time, we'd moved to TBWA as creative directors. And because we were in a sort of higher tier meeting, we were sort of aware of budgets and budget spend and all that sort of stuff, and the kind of somewhat dull things that you're not really cognizant of when you're just an art director. And so we knew that John Smith's had a pot of money, and it was approaching the end of the tax year, and that it'd probably be a good idea just to spend that rather than giving it to HMRC or whatever.
Yeah.
And so we thought, right, let's just write something. And the royal wedding, Will's and Kate's wedding, was coming up, and we were sort of Googling it, and there was all these commemorative plates with these really awful photographs.
Really crappy.
Like bone china, and like 60 quid.
Yeah.
And we're like, and John
Who
Smith,
buys those photos?
No idea. And John Smith was like in the back of our heads because we were creative director on it. And we're like, oh, why don't we just do our own plate? But like, rather than sort of celebrate, the wedding, we'll just go thanks for the day off.
Yeah.
Because that's no nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll make it out of paper.
Yeah.
And then I think we printed about 7,000 of these, and they were given away up north with pints of John Smith. So they got these crappy paper plates.
Oh, brilliant.
Up north. And
I wonder if they're still available on eBay or something,
Yeah. And
have you got any left of your own?
Probably somewhere in a box in a loft or something.
On the wall.
Above the fireplace.
Yeah.
Next to your sort of China dogs.
Yeah, or the genuine commemorative plates from all the royal weddings.
Yeah.
It's a great idea. I mean, it's so simple.
Yeah, and then it ran as posters, and
yes, it
was great. It was one of those things where we presented it, and they loved it. It was a really easy meeting. I said, yeah, let's just do it.
Was Paul there still, Silburn, at the time?
No, he wasn't, unfortunately. Yeah.
Bless him. It makes me think of Paul. Right, okay, we're going to jump out of being an advertising creative and creative director, art director, and into being an illustrator. So
tell us about the transition.
Yeah,
first.
Tell us how it happened.
So really briefly, we pitched for and won Muller at TBWA.
Right.
£20 million account, did wonderful stuff. This massive sort of 2-minute long ad that we shot in LA, and it had hand cell animation of all beautiful cartoon characters, and it was about wonderful stuff basically, because like Muller always start with like a kind of plain yogurt or rice and add in wonderful stuff like jam and fruit and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And we did this ad, and it was really successful. And then Theo Muller, who still owns Muller, hated it. Absolutely hated it. Even though all the metrics were good.
Right. Oh dear.
And he just
100 up joysticks couldn't change his mind.
1,000 up joysticks couldn't change his mind.
That joysticks around.
And he just wanted, stereotypically beautiful women in a field, orgasming over Muller yogurt.
God.
And so TBWA, basically, long story short, loads of people got fired, and TBWA resigned the account, and I think it went back to wherever it came from. And we was so frustrated with that. I think the agency kind of lost its confidence a little bit and was not really pitching for the kind of stuff that we were there to kind of do.
Yeah.
And so me and Mike said, we've just got to do it ourselves. We've got to set up our own agency. So that's what we did, called it Loaf and Egg. And we had this whole thing about the effectiveness of humour. Right. That it's not like this add-on or this nice have, that it can be really powerful. And, and if you're going to turn up in somebody's living room unannounced, the least you could do was entertain them, inform them of something in a witty way. And we were always keen to put the sort of metric success of our work alongside the creative success as well, because I think it's really important for creatives to link art and commerce, because it's not a hobby. It's worth billions to the economy. It's a business driver. Let's celebrate that. I mean, we just found it really hard to get any traction with any clients, because the clients were like, well, yeah, but who do you know that I know? And we're like, but look, the work here. And it was, but anyway, we started talking to Nando's and New Balance. And I remember we were going to go to the New Balance factory, because they were going to advertise. They were sponsoring the London Marathon, and we were potentially going to do the posters. And we were at the station going to go to New Balance, and I was with Mike, and I just felt really, really ill, like really ill. And it was, on the one hand, this super important meeting, and on the other hand, I said to Mike, I just cannot go. I'm so sorry, I just cannot go. And he said, look, don't worry, you go. I went home, and then I was in hospital for a week with viral and bacterial pneumonia.
Shit. Fuck, I'm pleased you did that.
And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
Because once the morphine kicked in, which was like diamorphine, is amazing.
Right.
Once that kicked in, I was I was in hospital, I was comfortable, I was warm, I was being fed. There was no emails, no expectation.
A moment of clarity.
Yeah, and I had those sort of 7 days to just really sort of think. And I thought, you know what? Like, I don't know how close I came to death, but it was enough to make me think that you got to do something every day that you love, right?
Yeah.
And so I rang Mike once I got out of hospital and said, look, I need to talk to you. And he basically said, you want to be an illustrator, don't you? And I said, yeah. So we sort of, we sort of wound the company up before it even started to fly. And I became an illustrator. And then sort of in recovery, straight out of the bat, I was given a poster campaign for Aviva, a sort of nationwide poster campaign for Aviva Insurance.
Brilliant. That's what we're looking at now.
And obviously you had contacts in your advertising career.
Sure,
you had
this,
people all over London who...
Yeah, this came through AMV, basically, which was great. It was great to work with them again as an illustrator.
Yeah. And so you illustrate one keyword, like, so for the baby, we'll give new parents £10,000 free life cover for their baby's first year. And so the FR and E are all beautifully, and so that's how you started, right? Yeah,
it was about finding sort of visuals that would represent the letters in the words. So one of the words is secure. So can you make letters out of locks and chains and things like that?
And were you writing the lines?
No.
Just that you're illustrating. That's quite interesting. So you're then on the opposite side of the fence.
Yeah.
Did you prefer that because it was less crazy ad world, everything changing all the time? And
I don't care how you get to good work. Like I like writing.
Yeah.
And I love drawing, but I don't care how we get to the end result. Sometimes people will come to me and, like Dave Dye will see later on his scamps were like, okay, yeah, I don't need to do anything there, I'll just draw it.
Right.
And some you'll get a poster campaign of 4 and 2 you'll like, and 2 you think, do you know what, I can do better, so I can't monetize that because I'm an illustrator, but I will go to Mare Street Market
have a sit down. So
and try and improve it. Yeah.
Look, I'm looking at, so was this, I'm looking at a phallic shaped banana. Well, a banana is phallic shaped, but it's is pronounced on this image with a pair of oranges at the bottom of the banana.
Yes.
I'm trying to say
cock and balls.
Cock and balls, yeah.
Talk us through your cock and balls. Sorry, Paul. There's no way around it. What was this?
This was almost like the dream brief from BBH, and it was for Soho and Berwick Street Market, and they had a campaign called Soho Not So.
Right.
And it was about how Berwick Street Market has been a market for hundreds of years, but Soho is changing so much from when we were young. It's there's so many flats, and the flats were complaining about the noise, and they were trying to get rid of the market. And this was a campaign to say, look, this is part of culture, it's part of Soho's culture. Let's try and keep it. And lots of artists were approached to basically just interpret how they feel about, the campaign. And Berwick Street Market is a fruit market, but down the bottom of the market was where all the sex shops were and all the brothels were.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, sex and fruit. It's simple. So I just, banana cock. And then, that was, it was displayed in we did an exhibition in the Getty Gallery, and then they were paste ups, and and then that got a fake pencil, a wood. What do you call the half wood or whatever? Some a D&AD,
a graphite.
I don't know. It's just like a little.
It's great. Though. I mean, it's a brilliant image. So, I mean, all along, are you feeling when you're doing this, getting more and more confident? Being affirmation that you're doing the right thing, and then. Were you getting more and more sort of commissions? Because you've been doing it over 10 years now, is that right?
Yeah, like probably closer to 12 now, yeah.
Because we're looking at another one here, No Cream Ice Cream. Tell us about that. Was that another, at the same time? Or?
No, this was a long time. This was during lockdown, actually.
Okay.
Towards the end of lockdown, and Dave Dye contacted me with a brief for this. It's called Banana Scoops, and it's non-dairy ice cream.
Right.
And so it's an ice cream scoop with the words no cream ice cream within it, and then the scoop of ice cream is a slice of banana.
Right.
And that came as the scamp. Dave had already thought of all the ideas, so it was just a case of drawing it up.
Right.
And an absolute joy to work with. And then these ran just at the end of one of the lockdowns, so I think there was like a bunch of cheap media around and poster
there was
trying to get people to.
How did you find working with Dave Dye?
Why did you end that question with a laugh?
It was really easy.
No, because we love Dave. And
Dave's going to be listening to this. Now he's going to think that.
No, because he's so
you think it's difficult to work with Dave Dye?
No, I've worked with him, but I just think like you say, it's sort of like it's done.
Yeah, I've worked with him before.
It's so good. It's like
I've worked with him in two ways. And one, he commissioned me to do some stuff for Google, and that was. There was various facts about Google's effectiveness, and so we were just given the line there, and we just interpreted the line. So that was one way of working with Dave. And in this instance, he'd done the scamp, so it was just drawing it up. But it was,
no.
I mean, some of the scamps you get from ad agencies or some of the ideas, it's wild that they've even left the ad agency. But
you should have seen some of mine at Adams. Actually running down the corridor to Birdie.
But with Dave, you just looked at it and went, okay, yeah, I know exactly what I need to do.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're going to sort of, just so listeners know, we're going to kind of jump around some of the work because there's loads of it, some billboardy, some not, just to get a flavour and get some stories going. We're going to look at this is actually a lovely poster for London Fields Primary Summer Fair. And it's so cool. It's made up of pencils on their sides, and the colours of the pencils make this sort of idyllic scene. Tell us a bit about this. Is this was this recent or?
Yeah, so this is very recent. The summer fair is on the 11th of July.
It's coming up this year.
Yes.
Oh wow, cool.
This year's poster. So my kids go to London Fields Primary, which is in Hackney.
Right.
And there's a charity group that fundraises for the school for all the kind of solar panels and things like that. And I got involved. And now I do all the posters and I've ended up designing the school logo. And this to me is about, there are lots of brands out there that deserve really great work but don't get it. Whether they can't afford it or, they don't know where to look for it. And I've just embraced the opportunity to try. Somebody said it's the most middle class thing they've ever seen, the posters, because like they walk in Hackney and there's these big sort of well designed sort of, I think, beautiful posters. It's just trying to give them the benefit of, you know, my experience of, let's do really bold, simple, clever, beautiful posters, and you'll get more people
coming to donate
to the fair. You know, it's just like basic principles.
It's great.
I think that's the second school. Was that we had Aidan in talking about the Soho school?
Yeah, Aidan contacted me about his logo. Because I launched my logo for London Fields about a week before they did the Soho.
Soho one, yeah.
So we've been
like
talking
a
to each other.
subset here.
It's great, isn't it? You're like giving back to education.
They
as well.
deserve it. Yeah.
We're looking at a British Airways poster now. Sharma El Sheikh.
So again, BBH contacted lots of artists, gave us a destination, make this destination beautiful.
Right.
And this, I basically split up the letters from Sharm El Sheikh into things you could do in resort, basically. So it was just a matter of sitting down with the sketch pad and trying to work out what things could look like, what letters.
When you get approached, I'm interested. Like you said, you like doing it all, but I suppose like the Dave thing, it's sort of finished. So it's the Pâté sort of sheen, I suppose. Whereas other ones, do they go? So we're going to move it on. To make my point. So like sometimes you get a magazine cover. So that's quite a big deal, like a cover of a magazine. Do you then approach that? Is it the idea comes from Paul Pateman, or is it from the editor of the magazine? They go, oh, it's sort of in this area, cybersecurity. How does that work?
99.9% of the time, it's my ideas.
Right, okay.
But if somebody comes to me with a great idea, I'll just draw it up because I love drawing, so I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't care.
That's cool.
I don't care how we get to good.
Have you become more mellow, do you think, over the years? Yeah.
I think it's probably quite a good and interesting point that I think I was insecure at AMV. And so I was overly precious about every single idea. And that caused friction with account management. It caused friction with clients.
Right.
And I think it was probably perceived as arrogance when actually it was sort of insecurity.
Right.
And now, as I've got older, I feel like if you don't buy that idea that I think is great, give me half a day and I'll row my boat over here and come back with something else that I think is great.
But I think that's true of a lot of, I definitely echo that. Some of the things I used to do or say, or my attitude was really, but then because you're quite feisty and you want it, but then like, so it's easy.
But it's easy to do when you're hungry, right? It's like you're hungry for success and to, you've been blessed with the 130 awards in 13 years. Like that's
big award.
You want more, right? You want more of that every year. So the hunger can come across as arrogance, but you're right. I think it does breed insecurity about what it is you do.
Yeah, because you sort of, it's almost like your career is going to falter and almost wither on the vine unless you're getting into the awards.
Yeah.
Batch at the end of the year.
I remember
it's a weird pressure. Yeah.
I remember someone said, and you can make it work however you want, but if you do interesting work, that's work that's sticky and get talked about, you hopefully win awards. But you can see work where you go, I can see that's definitely been a bit more done for awards. But I think it's you have to do it all, really, don't you? You have to, and I think the thing I've really enjoyed about this conversation, which has resonated with us too, is the proactivity idea about don't sit there and get irritated by things not working out for you as a creative. We
make more,
yeah. And so it's just looking at this as a personal thing. The tinnitus, so I have tinnitus, which comes up and down. So when I saw this, I immediately it's like going, oh God, tinnitus is going to come back. But it's a really like you say, it's a beautiful image anyway, but it's so this is a new scientist. So do you get a lot of, how do they come to you through an agent, or and how does that happen? Do you get on a roster of a magazine's cover art people? Sorry.
It can be that way. I've got a mixture of my own clients, and I've also got agents in London and in New York and
Right.
I'm going to recently signed with a new agent in Australia as well, in Sydney. And so some work comes through them,
right,
and they take a percentage cut. And then you have your own clients as well who'll come to you.
Okay. So it's quite a mix then?
Yeah, it's a mix. Usually, like the agent stuff is usually above the line sort of advertising work that I'll get. And my own sort of personal clients are mostly editorial. So, I mean, I was in the FT. I had a column in the FT for 5 years that I illustrated each week. And
so the writer sends you the column and then you illustrate based on what they've written?
Yeah. So like,
the brief is the article?
Yes, the brief is the article. So I'll read that, and then it's good if they do a headline because they've already sort of summarized the key point that they want to make about the article, because sometimes you can think that the key point is this when actually it's this thing over here. But in general, I'll read it and I'll have ideas immediately, because there'll be certain visual things that pop off the...
I mean, there's one we're looking at, the FT Weekend magazine. It says a new kind of spy, and it's got the USB stick and the eyes on it.
Yeah, so that was about GCHQ and how it's not only neurodivergent people that they're starting to embrace, but also people who are tech savvy. And so that was on the cusp of, moving more towards the kind of digital spying and that kind of stuff, rather than, your James Bond-esque one. So it was just about, in that one, you've got recruiting, so there's a hand in there. You've got tech, so there's a USB. And then if you look at a USB, I love to really sort of interrogate objects and really, really look at them and just make subtle changes. Like I say I don't like to cheat, and by that I mean if you cheat too much, add too much, it breaks. There's a sweet spot. So with a USB, it already looks like a face. Yeah. So if you put 2 spying eyes in the little square shadows, you're 3/4 of the way there, and then there is a seam, and if you look, I've just slightly altered the seam on an angle just to make a nose, and it's like 2 really subtle tiny changes, but you've got a perfect face for me.
That's great. I'm trying to think of time. How many should we look at?
Let's look at the dog one.
Yeah. Sorry, have I gone past? Sorry, chaps. The train line.
Yeah, they just want to talk about the dog one because of the
special meeting you attended.
Yeah. So for a long time, that dog had a small intestine and a bum hole.
So wait a minute, before we go. So it says goodbye swear word. Where did I put it? Hello train line. Tickets on your mobile. So, and there's a picture of a dog which has swallowed the ticket.
Yeah.
So it's that. It's a practical.
And so it's in his stomach, but there was a little tube, small intestine, leading to his bumhole, right up until the point where it was going to have to press play, as these printed posters, and they were going to have to print. And I
mean, people wait for their dogs to poop out the stuff they've.
Come on. I remember when Adam and I worked on a manga commercial. And these sort of mannequins were in the factory, and Chris O'Reilly at Nexus said, we need to put nipples on them because it doesn't look realistic enough. And then people going, no, you can't have nipples on the thing. We had meeting titles going, nipples and mannequins, 4:00, big room in BBH.
So you had to have a bumhole meeting.
Did you have a bumhole meeting?
Where the bumhole was raised?
Just anybody jump in there.
Paul, we've run this through testing, and
run it through the in testing.
We can't quite put our finger on it, but there's something wrong with this.
I mean, Paul, you've got so much stuff. We will include all of this in your PDF and on our site.
I can't believe you haven't let me rant about AI.
No, well, we can.
We're going to let you rant about AI right now.
And Paul, could you talk to us about AI? How you feel? Because there were these posters you did.
It's quite opaque how I feel about it, isn't it?
A headline: AI taking creatives to places they couldn't have imagined, like the job centre. So this was a series of. I remember seeing these. We featured them on our socials. Talk us through it.
It was a proactive campaign born out of. Like, I think adversity, fear, and all these kind of things are great, almost cynicism as well, are great sort of drivers for me to create art, I think. And I'm not necessarily worried about AI. I'm worried about more the Canva piece, that people are ready and willing to accept okay and not want good. That's the real danger, because I think AI is sort of good enough, but it's not great. And so that's my worry. My worry is that people will just go, yeah, okay is fine. So I wanted to, and also this was at the start of the hype bubble, and I was hearing, I don't know whether they were bots or whether they were shills for the AI companies or whether they actually believed it, but they were saying, oh, it's amazing how now we can prompt Mid-Journey and it's helping us expand our creativity and we can go to all these places we could never have imagined. And I'm like, well, sit with your feet up and stare out the window with a pencil and you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere that you can imagine.
It's limitless.
It's just crazy to me. So I thought of this line, and I'm going to parrot what they say: AI taking creators to places they couldn't have imagined, and then comma, like the job centre.
So that's where it's from.
That's where it's from,
right,
yeah.
Right.
And that's sort of where it started. And then, yeah, there's various other lines. Like, I really like real art enriches the soul, AI art enriches tech bro arseholes, because it is, by using it, all you're doing is sucking money out of the UK creative economy and putting it into the pockets of tech sociopaths in San Francisco.
And heating the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the environmental cost is huge, and the water usage is huge. And I understand how ad agencies have to be seen to be on the cusp and on the cutting edge and to embrace these things. But I haven't seen anything good yet. Like, I haven't seen anything that's better. Human beings are fucking brilliant at art, at advertising, at design, you name it. We're fucking brilliant at it. Why is it coming for us? Like, why? Yeah. Like, cure cancer, knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Like, use a prompt to cure cancer. Go on.
Yeah. Just leave us out of it.
There was one AI campaign that I liked, which was it was for Heinz, actually, where it said, Eve, they basically prompted into AI, ketchup bottle, whatever, and it all came out looking like Heinz ketchup. And I think their line was, even AI knows it has to be Heinz or something.
That's good.
Isn't it interesting, though, that how that's indicative of just the training material, though?
Yeah.
So, you're only going to get white, beautiful models out of it.
Absolutely.
It's
inherently
also exposing the dangers.
Yeah.
But it is like Hegarty said that thing, and not quite the same, but he said, if you're looking for ideas, don't look on the internet. Cause
don't look where everyone else is looking.
Everyone else is looking.
Yeah.
And then you go, and then people go, but that's what, and you go, well, what about scrapbooks? What about conversation here on a bus? What about doodling, looking out the window? And people don't understand that's where ideas come from. They think, oh, I have to open this thing.
No, I had a conversation with a creative team the other day, and they said, oh yeah, we put the brief straight into ChatGPT every time to get 10 things that we're not going to do. And we'll say, this is what ChatGPT gives you. That's what the client can do. That they can just paste it into ChatGPT and they'll get the same answers.
I think
here you go. This is the stuff we're not going to do.
Yeah, there are two things there. The fragmentation of media has meant that you've got to fill all these silos. That's meant that you're super, super busy just doing 10 ideas for each thing. And it's almost like they've paved the way they've created the problem and then they've created the solution to the problem that they've created.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But also, I think if we got the same brief in this room, the way you grew up, your experiences, I call it internal culture. The stuff inside you means that the work is going to come out different, right, for all three of us.
Yeah.
And it's going to mean something different to all three of us. And AI it doesn't have that. It's not human. It doesn't have that internal culture.
Yeah, you need that craft, that legacy of
it's
craft.
And you can see in some industry, like certainly that touches advertising, media planning and buying, and the stuff that can be automated that doesn't need people sitting at desks working on spreadsheets. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
it will
automated creativity is an oxymoron. I think that's
But for media planning, for build me, understand my audience and tell me what billboards I should be buying to attack them. Fine. Yeah. But not for creating it.
Yeah, like I don't doubt there'll be it'll be in some part of the mix, right, moving forward. But we need ethical AI to start with. We need AI that's trained on licensed material.
And I think that's what big business will end up. Everyone's. I mean, I've got friends in insurance and finance, and they're all building their own. this is the way that this is the company tone of voice, and this is what the company does, and this is how we underwrite. But then they have
to expose it to their NDAs, don't they?
Yeah.
So that becomes problematic. Like how?
It's huge.
Yeah, it's wild.
But that's why I think they're trying to contain it in their own buildings.
Yes.
It's like when Bill Gates said the internet won't work, but it will be a series of intranets.
Yeah, they'll have to sort of air gap it.
Yeah.
From the internet.
Let's finish with your favourite billboard, Paul, and tell us about this.
Yeah, so when I started at AMV, I was just wowed by the amount of good work that I was exposed to. And I remember, maybe it was in D&AD, or this might have even been on Dave Dye's wall at some point as inspiration, but it's a big yellow billboard and it just says, without TV, how would you know where to put the sofa? And it's for ABC network in the States. And I just thought that was so funny, so irreverent. It made me really like the brand. There's lots of other lines in the campaign that are also really good. And I just thought that is, like a bad poster is visual pollution, but a good poster adds to the landscape to me.
Yeah.
That's just like a really, really good, it's relevant joke.
Insight is it's real.
Yeah.
We just moved house, and that's exactly what you do in the first day, right? It's like,
arrange the living room around.
Where's it going to go? Yeah.
You don't say that. What about that? Where do we run the laptop?
Yeah.
You do that still, thankfully.
I'm always suspicious when you walk into somebody's house and when you're watching Grand Designs, the amount of people that don't have a big TV, I'm out. I have to turn it off. Surely.
Right, Paul. Honestly, could have gone on for ages, but we'll have to wrap it up there. Thank you so much.
If you don't already follow Paul on social, there's some great illustrative work that you
check out Pâté on toast.co.uk.
Dan and I have 10%. Apparently, we're getting there.
Got new agents.
10% of nothing is nothing.
But look, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
No worries.
Cheers, mate. Right. Well, that was good, wasn't it?
Just about got through it without coughing too much.
Yeah.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I was blowing up my cushion as well, so it's some good sound effects. Not been eating though. No flapjacks, nothing.
I know.
It's a bit poor, isn't it? But no, he was very good. Really interesting, all of that.
Very good.
I mean, bloody hell. He's had such an interesting career.
Illustrators see the world slightly differently, I think, as well.
Yeah, definitely. Have you ever done any of that?
I did a bit. I'm just not very good.
You not good at everything.
I know.
You're good at everything.
Weird, isn't it?
No, but
I like working with illustrators and kind of giving them a brief and getting the most out of them. But I'm just not.
He's got a good combination of being a very good illustrator, but good drive and energy around him. And that whole thing about AI, I was genuinely really interested. Because I think, I think
we can
nuanced.
shy away from it, but I think it's definitely, like we said, ethical AI is the future of it, hopefully.
Yeah, it's very nuanced as a debate, because if you pick one bit of it like he does, then, it can.
Yeah.
But no, thank you, Paul, for coming in, and thank you, everyone, for listening.
And thank you to our sponsors. Keep following us on social and sharing That's Nice things with us. Because we love posting the stuff.
Yeah, no, keep sending it in, and we always try and feature stuff we like or we think it's worth debating. So yeah, brilliant. The DMs, just keep them coming, and we're loving it.
Well, we'll see you.
See you, Jim.
Next Tuesday.
Take care. Bye.
The billboard at the end of my street is brought to you by Super Optimal, design intelligence for out of home. Super Optimal delivers simple, machine-driven analysis and actionable insights for reviewing and improving out-of-home ad design. Designers and media teams can quickly analyze billboard and poster designs, gain optimization feedback, and deliver out-of-home design that is fit for purpose. Test and learn. Make informed design decisions and elevate your out-of-home campaigns at superoptimal.ai.
Ooh, That's Nice is brought to you by View to Fill, the out-of-home campaign photography and video experts. View to Fill have spent a decade mastering the art of out-of-home campaign capture. They know how these campaigns run: adaptive display schedules, dynamic creatives, and high expectations. That's why brands trust them to deliver stunning photography and next-level videography. From drones to time-lapse and motion capture, View to Fill turn your campaign into powerful content that lives far beyond the humble billboard. Because out-of-home campaigns are not just about being seen, it's about being remembered and creating a legacy. Want to future-proof your next campaign? Visit View to Fill to capture the essence of your campaign. Our music is sponsored by Gas Music, delivering sound, music, and magic.